Trial balance question. So we've got some ledger accounts here, and we've got some cash book balances here and petty cash book balances. The instructions for the exam here: complete and create the trial balance. Although this is a 10-mark question, really, it should really be knocked out in about 4 minutes probably. And maybe we'll give you five in there. Make sure that you do check your work within those 5 minutes, and good luck. So you should hopefully be coming up to the answer now. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the answer. Here's the answer here. So let's go through here. Now, what would have been a good test actually is if we wouldn't have had these sales ledger controls and purchase ledger controls figures in here, and they just give us the sales ledgers, because that would have been quite useful, because you can see that the sales ledger equals the sales ledger control account and the purchase ledger equals the purchase ledger control account. So they're here. Whether they're necessarily needed or not within this question is not a bit pointless really, but it would have been quite cool actually if they would have missed out these figures here and had you drop them over here. So that would have been quite useful, but as it was a bit, it wasn't included. So let's just go through the items and why they are. So equipment hire is an expense, so it's money that's not available for the shareholders to have in the future. So it's a reduction in a money out item, and therefore it is a debit. So there's the equipment hire as debit. The sales ledger control account is a money in item. We're going to receive this money in future from customers, and so a money in item now is debit. Now the examiner's been very generous here by leaving capital at and actually showing it at 99816 really. Realistically, they could have left the capital out and just not had it in the actual question really here. And if they didn't include the capital figure, when the capital figures and the capital figure will be in the trial balance there, what you have to do is you have to total up the whole of the debits, total up all of the credits, and the capital figure will be the difference. As it was here, they left the capital figure in and provided it for you. Now that's money that's going to go out to shareholders in the future in here, and so it's 9816. Now if it would have had say capital and then after it losses, then it would have been money that the shareholders owe, so it would have been a debit. But as it was very rare, I don't think I've ever seen an example where it's been capital losses. So that's the credit, because it's money going out to the shareholders in future. Purchase ledger control account for 14588, money going out to the creditors or to the suppliers in future, so that's a credit. Legal fees, reduction in, it's an expense, reduction in the amount that's going out to the shareholders in future, so legal fees 781, debit. Discounts received, so that's money that's available to go to the shareholders in future, so an increase in the money going to shareholders in the future, so that's a credit, 73. Drawings, amounts that we paid to the shareholders, so they can't have that in future, so a reduction in the amount that they're going to have in future, so that would be a debit. The drawings is debit because there's a reduction in the amount that the shareholders will have in the future. Reduction in a money out item is debit. Purchases, it's an expense. It's a reduction in the amount that the shareholders can have in the future. So a reduction the shareholders have in the future, reduction in the money out item that's a debit. So 16,492 now purchases. In terms of our other balances here, now this is in terms of the exam instructions, the cash book and the petty cash book should be treated as a part of the double entry system here, unless task instructions say otherwise. So these are the ledger accounts in here, and I don't quite like this one here because it's saying cash book overdraft here, and this sort of is to stops people who use dead click really, because people who use dead click go, oh right, it's a bank, it's an asset, therefore it's a debit. Well, actually it's not. It's money going out to the banking feature. It's an overdraft in there, so it's a credit. So it's money out item. So a money out item is a credit, 3126. So that one is 3126 on this side here. And the petty cash book is is an asset. It's cash held now, so it's a money in item, 175 debit. You add all of those up, and you'll get a total of 65,487. And that's the same on both sides there, so we know that our answer is definitely right, and so that's how we check our work here. We add up our debits and we add up our credits, and realistically it would be quite nice if they would have left the capital figure as being nil, a blank there, and then we could have had to work that out ourselves, which I think would have made this more worth the 10 marks. But that's the answer to this question.